formal and very warm welcome to all the three musketeers, if I can call you that. And very nice and very pleasant smiles you all have on your face. And I think that is what we all want to see on our women who are working on the shop floor. Well, not just shop floor, but everywhere else. So like Manish said, this is part of the Women Aces of Manufacturing initiative, which is presented by the Aditya Birla Group. And the key objective behind this initiative is to, number one, have more women join the manufacturing industry. Number two, retain the women who are already working in the manufacturing industry. And number three, help the women who are working in manufacturing industry to grow to higher levels and achieve leadership positions. So there are three objectives of this initiative, which the Aditya Birla Group is championing for us. Okay, why we want more women in the manufacturing industry? There are two reasons for that. Of course, the most common one is that we talk about gender equality, right? That both male and female are equal, and that's why we also should have women working in the manufacturing industry. But there's also a very practical aspect to it. There's a huge shortage of skilled workforce in the manufacturing industry, and with women we can more than actually fill up this gap. So there was this data which was available through Government of India and World Bank, which says that if the number of women employees in manufacturing equals the number of men employees in manufacturing, our GDP will grow by a whopping 27%. So that's the kind of power that you women bring to the table. So please don't underestimate yourself. I'm sure I don't have to tell you this. The kind of profiles that you girls have, that's really amazing and very inspiring. So it's a pleasure and privilege for me to be moderating this session today. Okay, so the first question, very common question, and I'll be asking this question to all three of you. Do you really think that manufacturing is really a career to think about for women? Is it really on the horizon of women, especially in India? Let me start off with Ujjaini first. Ujjaini, do you think it's there already? Women are considering manufacturing as a career option.
Yes, of course. Because when I joined after completing my engineering in Bharat Aluminium Company, our company started the drive to consider women in all the corner of manufacturing. It is like shop floor, it is commercial, it is a very tough atmosphere of courtroom. And same thing when I joined Hindalco, I have seen that Hindalco also doing the same. So we encourage women to join in our projects, in our operation, in our quality, in our maintenance. So this is if you say some 10, 12 years back, of course, manufacturing is like more less privatized, more government organized, like a government enterprise or private limited. So that time women were in R&D, quality, or some commercial, but not much in shop floor and projects and like site. But gradually, all the corporates, all the big companies, they feel the need of including the women, bring the diversity, because it helps to bring more discipline in the shop floor, in the manufacturing, different fields, in projects, and you can say maintain the good work environment, which when I talk to different of senior management of different companies in my present earlier, so everyone admit that yes, work environment, work culture improve when we have women in our manufacturing. So now there is no such obstacle from management side or from company side towards women. So women can aspire wherever he want to join. If somebody wants to build their career in R&D, he can join quality R&D. If someone wants to build their career in maintenance, he can join like shop floor maintenance, equipment maintenance. If want to build career in production, operation, she can join production. If someone aspires to be grow in career in production planning, he can join she can join production, and then she can grow in production line. Even I have seen that in project site also, we are taking like female engineers in our projects. Recently, we are doing 2 projects. There we have taken the female engineers in our project also. So now I don't think there is any obstacle for female engineers to enter and grow in the manufacturing field.
That's indeed very heartening to know, and it's all the more encouraging to understand from you, who comes with close to 16 years of experience, that women are now working across functions. It's not only, earlier it was said that women would primarily fit into the design or maybe the engineering functions, but now they're working across production, operations, planning, R&D, everywhere they're there. Shikha, I'm coming to you now. I came across something very interesting on your profile, that you are the first electrical engineer from the prestigious National Institute of Technology of Patna. First of all, tell me, how does that feel?
Actually, I'd say कि I haven't done anything जो कि exceptional था. I was just doing what I was supposed to do, because in my family, like my brother and me, there is no discrimination in between us. So there is something like gender stereotyping that exists in the world that I came to know across only after I left home for studies. मतलब society में जब बाकी लोगों को देखा तब realize हो कि अच्छा gender disparity जैसा भी कुछ चीज होता है. So I was just doing what I was supposed to do. I studied and I was lucky to get that electrical engineering from NIT Patna. Actually, this was the stream that I opted for because I'll be like a bit informal. My father is a mechanical engineer. So I once dreamed of becoming a mechanical engineer, but my mother said, नहीं कुछ जरूरत नहीं है, बस कपड़े खराब होते हैं हर दिन शाम को. So do something जो उससे ज़्यादा better हो. And then I ended up in electrical engineering. अब मम्मा जब मेरी फोटो देखती है, now she regrets कि इसको electrical भी मना कर देना चाहिए था, because at times we have certain breakdown जिसमें मैं पूरा ऊपर से लेके नीचे तक काली हो जाती हूँ. Whenever I show her my picture या कभी वीडियो कॉल पे देखा, तो she is like कि यार तेरे को electrical भी मना कर देना चाहिए था, तू क्यों CSIT जैसे नहीं ले ली, साफ सुथरी रहती. So I guess the basic thing behind that was the thinking of my family, especially my mother and father, which made me to go to NIT Patna and opt for electrical engineering. I did well there, and then I got a job in core sector. Though during engineering also, some of my friends switched to software because, that is a white collar job, and like nobody wants, like most of the people don't want a blue collar job. And being in manufacturing is tough, which we all know, because we have this certain assumption that manufacturing is more about muscle power. But now with the 7 years of experience, I can say that there is a shift in manufacturing from brute strength to safe environment, like with the digitalization thing and acceptance of people. Manufacturing is becoming more and more safer for women. And it is like, I believe it is emerging as a better career option for female, because जब आपका नंबर कम होता है और आप कुछ काम करते हो तो आपका आउटपुट सबको दिखता है. लाइक व्हेनेवर मेरे जूनियर कोई लड़की आती है इधर पे, तो आई ऑलवेज टेल हर कि डू योर बेस्ट, क्योंकि तुम जो काम करोगे, बिकॉज यू आर अंडर अ कांस्टेंट स्क्रूटनी, हम बोलते हैं कि तुम्हारे हर एक एक्शन को हर कोई जज कर रहा है. एंड वंस योर एक्शन रिजल्ट्स इनटू सम आउटपुट, तो एवरीवन इज रेडी टू अप्रिशिएट दैट आल्सो. सो इन अ वे इट इज लाइक अ बेटर ऑप्शन नाउ फॉर गर्ल्स.
वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. एंड मुझे वो बात बहुत अच्छी लगी जब आपने कहा कि आप पूरी काली बन जाती थी. सो हमारे देश की तो परंपरा है कि women can become काली, लक्ष्मी, सरस्वती, अन्नपूर्णा. Okay, Anuji, I'll be coming to you now. So what has been your experience? Have you consciously taken a decision to join manufacturing as a career?
Yes, as Shikha was also talking about family support and family background. So usually it's a time when you aspire, because my father was also a electrical engineer working with Reliance. And I have grown in an engineering society wherein everybody is an engineer. And one day you do aspire to have that kind of a job. And when we were asked to what kind of profession are you going to choose, and I wanted to be a chemical engineer. And of course, there will be always certain apprehensions. Why don't you choose IT or CS? But some sort of thing that hit my mind was, I want to be a chemical engineer, and I want no apprehension family that you should be the part of IT, or you should take CS, or you should go with some other field. But so what I thought, I executed, and with destiny, I joined chemical engineering, and I pursued the course. And I think apprehensions are bound to happen, but some kind of exposure, some instances in life do help you aspire to take tougher roles and help them deliver. So it talks about internal mental strength along with support. So I believe girls do like we are discussing here, Shikha is there, Ujjaini is there. So these are some examples we can quote. Like there are women who are interested, and over the period of time, when we see, initially there were some apprehensions from the industry perspective. So when I used to say I will be choosing chemical engineering as a good career option, so they were like, industry is very tough, people will not accept, industrial mindset needs to change. So I think over the period of time, by the time I was pursuing my chemical engineering and was ready to be part of an industrial sector, there was a right amount of shift, paradigm shift, that we can see, that they were looking for girls, and they were very much happy to see and recruit girls. So my HR still last 6 years back, like after 6 years of experience, he did message me. I still remember that little girl who I interviewed in the college. So it's a very big thing. Like he must be interviewing thousands of candidates, like across many years. But if he is able to make such statement, that means we have created some impact, and we can be part of such industry and can deliver. So I think girls are there, and they want to be part of it, and there are industries are also taking the subsequent amount of efforts to take them and make them part of this industry.
Very pertinent observations, Anu. And like you very rightly said, it is important to showcase the right kind of role models and success stories in front of other women, aspiring women, so that they can also consider this as an option for their careers. So that is exactly the objective of this initiative called as Women Aces of Manufacturing that Pro MFG is doing along with the Aditya Birla Group. So that was one part of it, selecting manufacturing as a career. Now, let's come to the tough part of it. How easy or difficult is it to, number one, survive in manufacturing as a woman and to grow here as a professional? Let me start with Shikha, you first this time. So, आपने join तो कर लिया, Shikha, this question is for you. आपने join तो कर लिया manufacturing, but are there enough growth options for women professionals? That's my question.
Okay, so the thing is, the major challenge is mindset of people. Like, I cannot like blame them कि उनका ऐसा mindset था. We have certain reasons behind that also, because women are not allowed to work in all 3 shifts. And when you are in manufacturing sector, you have to work 24/7. So initially there were some like instances when there was a breakdown in my area and I have to go in late hours at night, especially after 12. So I had to take a lot of permissions. Like initially people were reluctant that why do you need to go? But when they had a faith in my talent that I am capable enough to solve that problem, then I started getting approval. But again, that comes with a cost. Whenever I go to shop floor, there are security persons accompanying me, all the in charges, higher level management. They have to provide the approval that, okay, she is allowed to go inside the plant because of all the legal norms and everything. So here at JSL, although abhi hamara jo, I guess that labor law is amended a bit, because earlier, if I'm not wrong, to 5 o'clock around tak hi women ko allow karta tha. Now they are allowing it till 7 o'clock, and it varies from state to state. So here at JSL, after like trying hard, we could manage 2 shifts, like till 10 o'clock, females are coming over here, including me, whenever there is a requirement. So this was the thing which was like creating a kind of hindrance कि अगर इसको responsibility दे दी और रात में breakdown आ गया तो फिर कौन करेगा काम. So when you start showcasing your abilities and when you prove that you're much better than your male counterpart, like I guess this thing is applicable to both male and female, because in manufacturing there's no longer any gender. It's all about your talent and how much effort you're putting it in. So when they had faith in me, the thing started like being smooth. So I'll tell you one thing. I got promotion as a manager in just 2.75 years, and within 3 more years, like I am the youngest senior manager of my organization. Not to quote male or female, I am the youngest senior manager who became a senior manager even before touching 28. So I don't think there's anything more that I can add to it, because from my experience, abhi cheezein dheere dheere improve ho rahi hain, and with more females, jaisa Anu was saying, with more females coming in the leading roles, so this situation will improve further.
That's really heartening to know. I'll go to Anu here because you mentioned her name, and I'll bring one anecdote from one of the previous interviews that we did here. You know, there's a stark contrast between those two experiences here. Anu very happily told her that when she was interviewed in her campus, the person who interviewed her actually remembered her. So last time we had a lady called as Miss Sandhya Pandey, who is currently the site director of Philips India. And when she was in her engineering college back in late 80s or early 90s, she had a very difficult experience. She was the only woman in the engineering college, and the people who would come to the campus, they would simply refuse to interview her, saying that अरे ये तो लड़की है, इसका इंटरव्यू लेके क्या करेंगे, कल शादी करके चली जाएगी, फिर हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट बेकार हो जाएगा. So things are now changing, which is very heartening to understand. Anu, what has been your experience in terms of growth as a manufacturing professional? Do you think there is, aapne do important baat kahi, one is inner strength and the other is support. Do you think you have enough of these two?
Yes, I do believe
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I believe both are very much critical, and if I'm able to say and quote the same, so definitely I did receive both of them, both from the personal perspective and professionally also. So when I joined, I was the only lady who had joined that particular department, and that is a 75-year-old plant, which, so we can imagine the history that it comes along with and what kind of workforce that particular company and work style would be having. So my managers were strong enough to create that space, respect for me, and that made me feel that yes, they do believe in me, and that kind of platform was available and created for me to explore. So personally, what I feel is my parents were quite strong. Whenever there was low days in my life, it's not always a straight line and a high days. So whenever I did break down and had some lows in my manufacturing journey, so they were very much constant and persistent to motivate me and never give up on me. So there were times when I thought, okay, I think this is not for me and I can't take it ahead. So they said, this is part of life, no matter.
I think Anu's network issue is there a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so never mind. We'll wait for her to join us back. If Anu, you are listening to us, we'll wait for you. You can probably log out and once again log in. Then in the meanwhile, I'll go to Ujjaini. Ujjaini, you are probably the senior most amongst these three panelists that we have today here. You come with more than 16 years of experience. So obviously having that kind of experience means that you've grown through certain stages. How has been your journey as a manufacturing professional in terms of your evolution, both personally as well as professionally?
Yes, so I joined as a production planning engineer after completing my engineering in metallurgy and material science. So initially, when I was placed in production planning department, I feel that I need to work in shop floor. Otherwise, I will never get that feel like in-depth knowledge of manufacturing. So I approached my manager. I want to be in shop floor. Uh, okay, there was some resistance, but somehow he agreed and put me in shop floor. Initially, I used to come in A shift, and which eventually turned in A plus general shift. So there was obstacle initially. Where I remembered first in my first day shift, I called my unit head to give the shift report. So unit head talked to my boss and told that कोई लड़का नहीं है क्या? Why girl is doing the shift? So my boss called me. He said, see, Jenny, I can understand that this opportunity is very necessary for you in terms of acceptability in shop floor. Maybe he has some different mindset. So you complete your shift every day as you come and give me shift report. I will arrange who will give him the shift report. But gradually his mindset also changed. My unit head's mindset also changed. I got good rating, and gradually I have shown my capability. So I still remembered it was my unit head's last day. After 2 years, he was shifted to another unit in Zambia. So he called me. In between, I had a frequent interaction with him. He is a tough guy. He used to call anytime. It is 10 o'clock, 10:30 for report, how much handover have been done. So last day of his Balco, he called me and he said, see, I want to say sorry to you because I misjudged you. I said, okay, sir, I'm happy that I able to break your biases. And that was a very encouraging moment for me. Still, I remember what, and the time also. I was just started my scooty to go for my shift, and then I got that call. And then one project, smelter expansion project came, and I joined as a bus bar installation. It is a smelter project, so and structure erection engineer there. Then after 2 years spending there, I worked in project management. They want to set up a project management cell there. So I set up that cell, and then I went to do my MBA from Adani Institute of Infrastructure Management. So and I joined Adani Powered. I was the only female in my entire office in technical. Few were there in finance and HR. There also it was a hard journey. So 2 years it took me to prove myself. But once I proved, then it was so smooth journey. Like acceptability came. So everywhere it is like I start from low phase and gradually grow and come to that mature stage. But when I joined Aditya Birla, I joined through Global Manufacturing Leadership Program. Here things is different. Here acceptabilities are more. When I was in Adani, I was the only female. When I went to my maternity leave, before going to maternity leave, there was no such policy. I have to go on through what are the policies are, and then I took it to my HOD. See, these all are the policies. This much leave is entitled. So I said that 3 months I feel that less. I want 1 more month. So my HOD says, see, policy wise, I cannot help you. I can give you only 3 months. Personal front, I can help you, like I can release you after 2 hours so that you can go feed your baby and come and join. So it was tough phase. My mom, dad, and all relatives were in Calcutta, so I have to manage with my nanny, babysitter. It was tough day, and me and my husband were two different location. 11 years we are separate location because of our job. I was in Adani, my husband was in Aditya Birla. Uh, but initially I faced obstacle, but still now people remember in Adani that there was a girl who really worked hard and he was alone, but he never feel shy or hesitate to approach. It was good. Like when you are few in numbers, everybody watching you, as Shikha said, but when you deliver, then result is multiplied. Whatever result you get, it is even more than others I have seen. And in Hindalco, I never face these biases. It is like a mature stage for me, and I just work and get the reward. So that is the journey how I go. I used to say my friends that I get gradual promotion. When I joined, I did not have a place to sit and office. In production planning, I had an office, but when I joined in shop floor, we just keep everything in our scooty like deck, and then come to shop floor, work, and sit wherever we get, and go to canteen and have lunch. Then when I went to Adani, I joined Adani, I got a proper desk and a computer. And then when I joined Aditya Birla, it's a head office, so it's a full setup. So, but the thing is, why everyone appreciate me and why everyone appreciate those who work hard in shop floor. If you don't leave the field, if you don't feel discouraged and stick to the game, yeah, there are people who will tell many things because for them also it is new. They do not see women in the workforce. So for them also it is new. They have their biases. But when you start proving, you made them feel that you make them feel that you are one of them, then gradually their biasness also will change and it will give you result.
What an amazing and inspiring journey that has been for you, Jenny. Really inspiring. And like you changed the approach and attitude of your unit head and to where you are today. It's really inspiring. So like very rightly you said that it is all about delivering the goods, sticking to your work and proving yourself on the shop floor. So that is what ultimately matters, and you've done that. So coming to the shop floor, Anu, since we could not continue the discussion with you at that time, I'll come to you now. So you were talking about how you never gave up, how your seniors never gave up, how your parents never gave up, and that is why you are where you are today. So I want to ask you another question related to the shop floor. Like even Shikha mentioned in her comments earlier that initially manufacturing was supposed to be a male job, it was a man's world because it was, because of the physical nature of the job. It was difficult lifting things, fixing things and so on and so forth. But do you think today the operations particularly have become gender agnostic in such a way that it doesn't make a difference whether you are a man or a woman? You can do the job irrespective of the gender. Do you think that has happened? Anu,
Yes,
my question is for you.
Yeah. I do believe that industry has become gender agnostic. And I can state that by saying, like, when I joined in 2015, we joined with three girls, and there were no shift operations at that point of time. And then they had taken a sign off, and government approval and proceedings were taken ahead. And with due course of time, that permission was granted. And since then, 4 years, I have worked in shop floor. I have been a shift lead, and so I can say we were also exposed to similar kind of roles, challenges, and there was no such criteria that since you are there, this job should not be done. So they had that kind of belief, and no matter who is in the shift, the job has to be done. And even manager didn't even bother whether it is a girl or a boy or whether she can do it or she cannot do it. If she cannot do it, she will learn to do it. It's every day. It's first for every like every person. If a boy also joins for the first time, he's not the expert, right? So he also needs to learn through the procedures what we need to follow in terms of operations and what all parameters or operational criteria that we need to learn and execute. So no matter who the person is, they have to have the same training and then deliver the same performance. So I think they developed such kind of confidence that they recruited more girls. So they recruited only 3 girls at the first point of time, and then when they saw a good shift and people were appreciating the performance and they were very much happy with the kind of responsibilities they were given, and accordingly they were delivering. So the next batch had more number of girls, and subsequently I think over the years the number of recruitment of girls have increased. So I think there is a shift, and there is no such biasness that exists based on type of role or whether who the person is to deliver the job. So I think there is a quite significant amount of change.
Okay, since you work with the chemicals industry, maybe that's a different experience that you have. But since Shikha, you work with the metal industry, is it the same out there, or has it changed out there as well?
So I'll say, yeah, there is nothing called gender bias right now in the manufacturing, because right now most of the industry are like, everyone is talking about industry 4.0, AI, machine learning and everything. So manufacturing is now more about brain rather than muscle power, which I mentioned earlier also. So, girls have better brain than males, I can say this. That is even proven in the results also. So this gender bias thing is gradually being removed from the manufacturing. I'll say this. And second thing, the most important thing in this context is, I was reading somewhere that there is 12% of workforce, female workforce in India in manufacturing. So I'll quote it this way, that there is at least 12% of male out there in the manufacturing who believe that females are better in the job they do, who has a trust in us that whatever the assignment they will give us, be it breakdown maintenance, be it production planning, be it rolling a mill also. Like we have few lady mill pilot, we call them lady mill pilot over here, because now rolling was something when I joined 7 years back, I was like told this gradually that anyone who is having an experience of 10 years of rolling mill is an expert and he can only run the rolling mill. So like 4-5 years back, we like deployed 3-4 girls on the shop floor, specially focused to run the mill. Now we call them now lady mill pilot. Like we have this word because even the production and reduction figures that they achieve in their shift is at par with their male counterparts. So with the improved result and outcomes, and when more and more females are ready to take the challenge, this gender thing is being removed somewhere from the manufacturing. So I guess there is no such bias right now.
That's very encouraging to know. And coming back to the very first point that you made, is that women are better when it comes to brains. Well, surprisingly, I agree with you. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I feel that she is a improved or a better version of myself. So I can't more disagree or agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
So Ujjaini, I'll come to you now. What role do you think training and development will play in, number one, getting more women into manufacturing, and number two, helping the women who are already here to grow and climb up to the next level?
So I think when female workforce join as a graduate engineer trainee, that EDP, MDP, we organize EDP, like send them to some management school for the behavioral and aptitude development. Anyway, there are so many technical courses we used to organize, but this EDP really helped them to mentally become mature and able to oversee the things in a broad level. Yes, we also did mistake when we joined as a engineer trainee, and we had a 20 girls batch. So yes, we had that immaturity and all. But this kind of training helped us a lot. Development program through some management school, because management school give them behavioral aspects, financial aspects, and some quantitative aspects. This behavioral training, like people cannot feel the need of behavioral training, but this is as important as the technical training. Technical training, it is okay, you get it through on job, through classroom teaching, but behavioral training is something we also, when our senior organized, like our training and guys organized the behavioral training, we thought that why this is important, this is all gyan, but gradually we understand why these all things very important. And it is the perspective of a third person who are not into the company, and their observation. So it is very important. I think every organization should conduct this, and this should be given to all the batches. So training and development is a very important role to play in the behavioral development and mental development. And in one interview, in one training, a few made the statement, ma'am, you have to give all the training together, male and female together, because we understand, but until and unless they will not understand. So gradually we conduct training as a batch, like irrespective of gender. So this really helped them.
Okay, I want to stick with you for the next question, Ujjaini, because my question is related to what you've shared with me earlier also. You've worked with different organizations, and your experience with the Aditya Birla Group has been quite positive and different from the previous organizations for certain reasons. Okay, so do you think manufacturing organizations today are providing, or rather creating, that kind of environment so that more women can join them? Because this aspect of behavioral training that you just mentioned, it is something that the organization needs to do. It is not something that is in your hands. It is something that the company that you're working for, they will be providing. So do you think more and more organizations are doing that now?
Yes, more and more organizations are doing. Now my first organization, they are doing. My second organization, they are also doing. And in Hindalco, we used to conduct various types of training of this behavioral training. Like when young engineers join, they have to undergo 1 year training. And this 1 year training, it is not only technical, it is behavioral also. Gradually all the organization feel the need. Like in my second organization, Adani, we have very few women, but now they are also feeling the need to induct more female, and they make the environment so conducive so that female feel comfortable, feel safe. Adani used to provide excellent infrastructure to all the females. Like when I used to visit the plant in Kutch, I used to stay in the guest house where senior management people used to stay. My counterpart boys, they were entitled to lower grade guest house. So that much kind of respect they give to all the female, so that female feel more safe, more encouraged, and want to join the group. So I think all the organizations nowadays feel the need.
Yeah, of
And
course, there would be men and boys who would say, "Inko special treatment क्यों देना चाहिए?"
yeah,
You would
people
obviously
say,
say that if you want equality, equality has to be
yes,
at every level. But of course, there are certain aspects that we have to treat women differently, right? Anu, what are your views on this? Technical training is something that everybody expects, and it is critical. But how important is behavioral training from your point of view?
Yeah, I completely agree with Ujjaini. So for us, we have a campus to corporate that is named as RM. So wherein they cover technical plus behavioral, and the shift that a person or a candidate goes from college to campus, and the kind of molding that is required. So they get a bit and instances of how this corporate sector is and how they need to behave, what is expected out of them. So it is quite like a month on training, wherein it is it is conducted over a year. So it consists of technical training, exposure to CSR, exposure to behavioral training, exposure to multiple kind of people around them, doing different projects, whether it is within the society or in the company. So just to get them acquainted to the atmosphere in and around, and like how the system behaves, and it is no more very much like similar to college, and how they need to adopt. And after campus to corporate training, they have different levels of training at each career path. Like for example, they have for any employee who is having 4 to 10 years of experience, so they have a program called Blooming, wherein they do leadership development training program. So there also they will talk about how how a leadership identity is created, how a leadership should behave, how network is important, how behavior is important. So what is the current status across the globe? So so this Blooming program is actually interlinked through the LBS faculty, wherein experts from LBS come and give us various perspective. And it's like not only within the we can say company, it is across the group. So we have more than 144 companies, so we have people from different background, different group companies, to share their experiences. So this at multiple various levels, they organize leadership training to wherein they are taught technical as well as behavioral. So I think it is very much necessary, because it also gives a directive learning. Otherwise, direction, even though learning is happening, but we don't know how how well the directive learning is there, whether it is necessary or not necessary, whether it is relevant or not relevant. So I feel training is very much important and required.
Very rightly said. Directive learning has to be there. Shika, I have a slightly different question from you. We are coming close to the end of our session, but I have a slightly different but very critical and important question to you. I saw your profile, and it also says that you are the chairperson of the POSH committee. Yeah. So I want to understand from you, how safe, in quote marks, is the manufacturing industry for women?
Okay, so I'll say that manufacturing industry is much safer than software industry. Like, I might be sounding a bit controversial, but it is because I have my friends in software also, and I have my colleagues over here also. So in manufacturing, since the number is less, so as Ujjaini said, the focus is more on girls. Like, whatever they are doing, are they comfortable or not? Are they like okay with whatever the facilities they are being given? So this thing is like knowingly or unknowingly is in a way protecting us. Like me being a chairperson of POSH, so I am aware of the things, most of the things that happens in the manufacturing. So as per my knowledge, I come in contact with female employee on a regular basis. So I ask them कि तुम्हारे साथ कुछ ऐसा, like we have contractual workers also on the who are working on the grassroots level. So I interact with them also, and I ask them कि आपके साथ अभी ऐसा कुछ आपको face करने को तो नहीं मिला, कोई issue तो नहीं है या कोई discrimination तो नहीं है. So I'll say कि mostly ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. And अगर कुछ होता भी है तो वो grievances ऐसे होते हैं जो हम head on लेके उनको तुरंत solve कर सकते हैं. And अगर कोई ऐसा issue हुआ जो कि मेरे को लगता है कि नहीं, this is important, like this is something like which will have an impact, and we take that point to management, then management is very well ready to resolve that point. Like, they pay all the attention they can give for this, because everyone wants ki there is a gender diversity and females are like well represented in their organization. Like if I'll talk about JSL, तो हमारा जो भी कोई assignment होता है ना, you'll see कि every second assignment is given to a female representative, in order to like we have a term called like level playing field. So they believe कि first of all you need to have a level playing field for females, because of which हमें opportunities ज़्यादा मिलती हैं हमारे male counterparts से. Although we are delivering also, but then if I'll say, so we are blessed in that way. So because of that, the discrimination thing that we imagine, like everyone imagines, whenever there is a girl who is stepping out of the home for the first time, So हर किसी के parents का, especially moms का ये रहता है कि नहीं, society is not safe. Although I'll not comment whether society is safe or not, because that totally depends on one-to-one interaction and one-to-one encounters. But manufacturing is more or less safer for the girls. This I can say. So
very heartening to know that. So tomorrow, if my daughter wants to consider manufacturing as a career, I will definitely encourage her.
Sure.
Okay, so we've come to the fag end of our discussion. It has been a very wonderful discussion. I am going to give you 30 seconds to each of the speaker. Okay, and if you have to give a message to the girls who want to look at manufacturing as a career option, what will be that message? You have just 30 seconds. Let's start with Yushika.
okay, so I'll just say, if you want to change the word, join manufacturing, because you have all the horizon to play. You have all the stereotypes to break, and you have all the challenges which you can overcome and show the result in numbers and performance. And that will definitely like motivate other females to join the same.
Very brilliantly put. Anu, what would you give as a message to the girls out there?
My message would be, if you're strong enough, prove it by joining manufacturing industry. And it needs a lot of strength. Don't shy away. We are equal. We are capable enough to do that. So scarcity is the necessity of innovation. And same way I will say, since girls are less in number, so you have more platform to showcase your talent and deliver and prove that we are not less than anybody else here. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Very inspiring. Ujjaini, we started with you and let's conclude with you.
Yeah, follow your dream. If you really want to be in manufacturing, stick to your dream. Today or tomorrow, you will break all the biases, and ecosystem will help you to fulfill your dream. So manufacturing industry today is not different from IT or other white collar industry. You will get same opportunity, maybe you will get same kind of on-site job, what is very popular in IT. Very soon I will go to US to join a plant in US. So it is nothing like only IT and other service industry will give you this kind of opportunity. Now manufacturing industry also can give you the same kind of opportunity. So there is nothing that you will not able to get that global exposure if you will be in manufacturing. Now in manufacturing also you can get the global exposure.
Fabulous. While all of you have said three different things, the most common things that comes across to me is that confidence, positivity, and the desire to do something different and change the world. Superb. On that note, thank you so much, ladies. It was wonderful having this conversation with you, and I'm sure our readers and viewers will also be equally inspired and motivated after listening and reading what you all have said here. Thank you so much. Amita, over to you.
Thank you. What a fantastic session. We are looking at the future change makers. Few of them are already managing the changes in their various work spaces. I think we covered a lot of important topics of, starting early, removing biases, work-life balance. The love for manufacturing was predominantly there in the entire discussion. It's the place to be. It has technology, it has sustainability, I think if you are in manufacturing, you will be an expert in a lot of things. It's a holistic experience. It is not a daily job where, you have to come and do same thing again and again. There are new learnings every day, new experiences which build you as a person, your personality, makes you a better human being also. Experiences make you a better human being. So fantastic. We talk about equality. We also talked about equity. Both are important when it comes to breaking biases. The corporates understand that now. They are supporting training, mentorships are important. This platform is a mentorship platform to project people like you who are, there doing the job day in, day out. And gender is not an issue anywhere. The work is the predominant factor. So getting things done is what is important. Boy does it, a girl does it, whoever it is. At the end of the day, there are machines. they don't have any biases, which you work with. So great to have you all on this panel. Niranjan moderated very well. It was exciting and great insight shared by each one of you. Thank you so much.
Very well said. Well said, Amita, and thanks Anuj, Shikha, and Ujjani for sharing all your experiences and a lot of insights. And I loved the last question, which very pertinent question Niranjan asked, and I loved all the three answers. Follow your dreams and join manufacturing to change the world. I think that is a key message what we can take it to the readers and future women engineers who are considering manufacturing as a career option.